Do you have to come to Germany to found a GmbH in Germany? That is what I'm going to talk about in today's video. More than 1 million businesses in Germany are run using a GmbH. That makes a GmbH one of the most popular forms to run a business. The main feature of the GmbH is that it limits the personal liability of the business owner. The GmbH is a legal entity with its own legal personality. Therefore, the GmbH can conclude contracts and the GmbH itself bears the obligations arising from these contracts. As a consequence of this, the person or the persons running the business are not personally obliged and their personal assets are shielded from liability. This makes the GmbH a preferred choice to run a business, also for people abroad who would like to start a business in Germany. However, the creation of a GmbH involves many formalities. Many people who are pondering to found a German GmbH are wondering if they have to travel to Germany to do that. The short answer is no. The point in question is that the articles of association of a GmbH must be notarized. The articles of association are the founding contract of the GmbH, the basic document which sets out what the subject of the GmbH is, how it operates, where its seat is, and so forth. These articles of association must be notarized. That means that a notary public must confirm that the persons who are named in the articles of association actually want to found a GmbH using these articles of association. In Germany, notaries public play an important role in many areas of contract law. In particular, their task is to ensure that the documents are authentic, meaning that the signatures under the documents are real. The notaries public check the identity of persons who are party to a contract and confirm that these persons have signed or concluded the contract. There is a specific law which sets out how notaries have to proceed when notarizing and which rules they have to follow. If a document is notarized, it increases the public trust in these documents significantly. For certain types of documents, the law stipulates that they must be notarized to be valid. The articles of association of a GmbH are among these documents. That means that the articles of association must be notarized. Otherwise, they are invalid. For a long time, notarization required the physical presence of persons in front of the notary public. Persons who wanted to conclude a contract met in the notary's office. The notary checked the identity documents of these persons, for example, their passports or identity cards. He verified their identity, he witnessed that they signed the contract, and he confirmed with his own signature that they had concluded the contract. This changed in 2022. The German legislator introduced a possibility to notarize the founding of a GmbH online. The main reason was an EU directive, namely the Directive on Digital Tools and Processes in Company Law. This directive aimed to foster the use of digital tools in the context of founding businesses and to make the creation of companies easier. Among other things, it obliged EU member states to ensure that companies can be created completely online. This was an EU directive, which means that member states of the EU had to transform it into national law. They had to pass legislation which was in line with the requirements of the EU directive and implement the directive. Germany has done that and amended some laws to ensure that a GmbH can be created online as required by the EU directive. The German legislator did not abolish the requirement of notarization. That means the notarization of the articles of association of a GmbH is still legally required. But the legislator added additional ways how the notarization can be conducted to make online notarization possible. First of all, the legislator introduced new provisions in the law which governs the GmbH, the GmbH Act. These provisions clarify expressly that the notarization can be conducted online. The legislator has also included a template in the law which is expressly designed for the online creation of a GmbH. This template contains articles of association and language for the creation of the GmbH. If founders want to create a GmbH online, they and the notary public can follow this template. In addition to that, the legislator has amended the law which governs the notarization, the Notarial Recording Act. This act now states that notarization can be conducted via a video communication system and clarifies how to proceed. A specific video communication system must be used. There is a Federal Chamber of Notaries, which is a sort of association in charge of the activities of notaries. This Federal Chamber of Notaries has made a specific video communication system available. This system must be used for the notarization of the creation of a GmbH. So, the online creation cannot be conducted via Zoom or MS Teams or another system, but only via the specific system provided by the Federal Chamber of Notaries. The founders do not have to worry about it. When they have chosen a notary public and mandated him to carry out the notarization, the notary will send them a link. The founders need a computer with a camera and a microphone and a stable internet connection. They also need a smartphone with NFC. They must download an app which is provided by the Chamber of Notaries. The notary will tell them which one. What is crucial is that the founders need to have sufficient identity documents. The idea of notarization is that the notary public verifies the identities of the parties to a contract and confirms that they have concluded the contract. This does not change when the notarization is carried out online. Therefore, the notary public is supposed to go ahead with the notarization only if he is satisfied that he has verified the identity of the persons who enter the contract. Within the EU, a number of states have agreed which identity documents are deemed sufficient and will be recognized in other states. The discussions on that are ongoing and the list is expanded. For nationals of other states, it should be discussed early on in the process what documents exactly are needed to confirm the identity of the founders. If you're interested in founding a GmbH in Germany, feel free to download my ebook on the GmbH in Germany. You will find the link in the show notes. Thank you.